I can't believe the story is true. Posted on r/TrueOffMyChest. I am so very tired. Last night around 10 p.m. my husband says he needs to swing by Walmart before they close because he needs medical scissors to take care of his ostomy. He promised to grab some food because it was late and we hadn't eaten dinner yet. 20 minutes later I'm jamming out in my car and this sensation creeps over me, like the world is about to end. I pull up and look at my husband's location on GPS and watch as he's in the same spot for a really long time. I call back to back and he doesn't answer. Finally I get a text message from him. He says I forgot to scan a pack of socks at self-checkout and they just want to go through all my bags and check things out. They said they would be right back with his receipt. Then I see 2 police cars pull in and that thick sense of dread washes over me. I start spam texting him but he never reads them. The store is closed at this point and every fiber of my being wants to run into that store. I don't know what I thought was happening but my intuition was in hyperdrive. I'm parked by the one set of doors, the cops are at the other. I see them walking my husband out and he turns to look my direction and screams HEYYYYY. Without a thought, I get in the driver's seat and haul ass to where they are. I said, all this over a $12 pack of socks? They have the most smug look I've ever seen on their face. And one of them shows me what's in his hand and it's my husband's itty bitty gun. It's a little collectible he likes to carry because it doesn't pull down his pants. I breathe so much relief and tell them he has a concealed permit. That's when they inform us that in our state when you have a weapon on your person AMD commit a crime it instantly turns whatever that crime is into a felony. I was beyond annoyed at this point. It wasn't like he shoved the socks down his pants and tried to run out the door. Here's this receipt for $100 plus spent there and loss prevention called the cops over a misscanned item. I demand they give me his belongings and they're hesitant. Finally my husband tells them to and they listen. I open up his bag and show them what I already knew was in there, the fattest stack of cash. We own a very successful business that just so happens to be cash heavy. $680 BTW and that's after he spent $100. I said why would he need to steal? He has an ostomy as I mentioned. They take him to the hospital where he spent 2 hours because the country jail refused to take him in with an ostomy unless it was a fresh one. The nurses at the hospital are teasing him when they think he can't hear. Oh, whoever shares a cell with him is going to be awfully upset at how bad he smells. They replace his wafer and forget a crucial step, a wax ring under his wafer. If you know ostomies, you know that bitch is going to leak. No one helps him or fixes it. I find out and file a grievance to the ADA. They're saying it takes 5 days to address issues like that. Great. I'm stressing about how quickly his skin is going to break down. The jail is overcrowded, meaning infection will come next. There's nothing to do but to collect all the cash I can and wait for bail to get set and hope it's enough. Arraignment isn't until the next day at 2 p.m. Him by Zoom and I show up in person. I pull up the jail roster to take a LOL at his charges theft 3 and burglary in the 1st degree while in possession of a deadly weapon. I'm sitting in the courtroom, one of the only people who showed up in person, but if I could just get a minute or two with the public defender, maybe if I tell him about what happened he'll be able to fix it. No chance comes. My ass is sitting in the chair for 2 hours and whenever an inmate comes up they waive their reading of the charges, but I'm nosy so I look them all up. Those were all some evil dudes. Manslaughter, murder, attempted murder paired with domestic violence. They start wrapping up for the day and I'm pissed. It's Friday. They're going to hold him the whole weekend for nothing? I pull up the jail roster hoping I would see bail or something and I can't find his name. Go into the court website and I see it. The prosecution dropped the case without saying a word to me. So I call up the jail, they tell me he won't be let out until 7 p.m., 3 hours from now. My husband called me at 5 p.m. and I'm like, can you believe they dropped the charges? He had no idea. He asked the guards, they confirmed. Minutes were crawling, then he had a stroke of genius and tore part of his wafer off, went to the guards and said it was leaking. He was in the car 30 minutes later. This entire situation has me beyond appalled. I don't understand why it ever escalated the way it did. I'm not sure I would believe it if I didn't live it. Be careful guys, and if Walmart asks you to come with them, don't. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. I've heard of places that keep recordings of individual thefts, wait for it to reach a certain dollar amount, and then detain and press charges. I think Walmart just detains for any theft at any time. The machines ask if you want an emailed or paper copy of the receipt. I've read of people detained for not having the paper copy. Your husband went through it, but thankfully, he's out and has no charges. He's a lot more fortunate than others. Commenter 2. I feel your frustration and can relate to your husband's experience. Years ago, I was at Target and realized the cashier must have missed my hair products, mousse and a comb, and I went back inside to pay for them. While waiting for someone to come after my explanation, turn around the manager is walking with police towards me. The officer asks me to follow him. I was shocked. They take me to a small room. Many people were there. I tell the cop my story. Got into the car, looked at my receipt and noticed some items missing on the receipt. Checked bag. Items were in the bag. I came back to pay for them. The officer asked if I told this to the lady he was pointing at. I said yes. The officer asked her position. She was a manager. The officer made a face at them and he lit them up. I remember he did this. I opens the door and begins to talk loudly and direct. He asked them if they knew how to do their job, made comments about wasting resources on a matter that a customer was trying to resolve, told them to learn their jobs or quit, tells me to file a complaint, directs them to give me corporate number. They give it to me. He asks which one of them was going to ring up my items so I can go. He walks out calling them stupid and tells them to get some training. Apologizes to me and tells me to have a nice day. I like to think he did that to vindicate me from the embarrassment of other customers seeing me being walked back. It was a small victory for me. Some people aren't meant to hold positions that could impact other people's lives and livelihood. That manager was one of them. Whoever accused your husband shouldn't be in that position either. I hope your husband is doing better. Smart thinking on the bag to get released early. Clapping hands medium skin tone, clapping hands medium skin tone. Commenter 3. As someone with an ostomy, I understand the horror of no ring. I hope his skin is okay. Commenter 4. Same here. And while I can unfortunately believe what the nurses were saying, as I've heard something similar myself at rotations for school when the staff didn't know I have a bag, I still find it so immature and rude for any healthcare professional to make those comments. Besides, anyone who is familiar with ostomies knows that unless there is an active leak, no one else can smell the bag. That's just ignorant. Commenter 3. That is shocking and sad face. Commenter 4. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for the poop jokes. It normalizes things a little for everybody. But those sorts of comments are unprofessional. I wonder why they didn't let him change his own bag. Commenter 3. Oh, I make jokes about my own all the time. It doesn't bother me including leaked jokes about me, but never about other people. It's my business to discuss my stoma, not other people's. OP. My favorite is how the farts wait for the perfect timing. Quiet conference room meeting with an important client. Never fails. Him getting all up in his emotions and tells me how beautiful and wonderful I am. It is always punctuated by a fart. We joke that we adopted a French bulldog, so he had something to blame it on LOL. Wired Abyss here. Please follow if you enjoyed. I never generate fake stories using AI, never have unnecessary, multiple parts. I've also started posting on YT. Check bio for more info.